हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू द फ्लाइंग फुलबैक्स पॉडकास्ट। आज हम बात करने वाले हैं मैनचेस्टर सिटी वर्सेस डॉर्टमुंड की। एन इंटरेस्टिंग मैच। व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
Dude, it was a very interesting match from two aspects. One on the field and one is off the field. The on the field, as you know, it was a Champions League quarterfinals and Man City was not able to go past it and blah blah blah. But the biggest talking point was the coming of Erling Haaland to Man City. What do you think about that?
आई थिंक दैट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग पॉइंट, क्योंकि हमने अभी एक पॉडकास्ट में भी उसकी बात की थी कि अर्लिंग हालैंड, आई थिंक हिज नेक्स्ट डेस्टिनेशन, इट वुड बी सेंसिबल इफ ही वेंट टू मैनचेस्टर सिटी. And actually, to be honest, yesterday he was not very good against his possible future employers. I think overall, while he did get a couple of good chances, I think there was one chance which I remember in which he absolutely pushed Ruben Diaz off. And abhi tak Premier League mein what we've been seeing is Ruben Diaz a pretty physically dominant centre back. He's usually very strong on the ball, but in yesterday's match, I mean, the ease with which Haaland pushed him off, it was something to see. So again, Haaland showed people why he's good, but at the same time, he was not very effective.
Yeah, but he gave an assist. So you can't really say he did nothing. But
True,
yeah,
true, true.
pushing off Ruben Diaz and John Stones is not a means feat. Considering that how good they are right now, they're basically the best center back pairing in Premier League right now. So if he can play against them, then he's basically showing that he's ready for the Premier League.
Yeah, and speaking of the assist, it was a very good assist. But before we get to that, I want to talk about the first goal, which was really, really incredible. I mean, I know people talk more about Emre Can's mistake, but I think the elegance with which Kevin De Bruyne I mean, his elegance in that whole phase of play. As soon as he received the ball, he so easily went past one defender. His driving runs, a simple pass to the left, and then his finish. I think it really showed people why he is one of the best players in the world. And I think, in my opinion, he's the best player in the Premier League, and this is why. He's so effective, so elegant, the joy to watch.
But one point people are also missing the fact that जो रियाद मारेस का असिस्ट था, जो उसने बॉल कंट्रोल और टच था उसका लाइन के पास में बॉल वापस अंदर लेके आने के लिए प्ले में, वो भी काफी अच्छा था. आई थिंक नॉर्मल प्ले या नॉर्मल सिचुएशन होती तो आई थिंक वो कॉर्नर के लिए चला गया होता. बट बट उसने इतने अच्छे तरीके से अपने को बॉडी को फुल स्ट्रेच करके जो बॉल को वापस लाया एंड द पास वाज रियली गुड कंसीडरिंग कि वो क्या पोजीशन में था.
हाँ यार, आई मीन, जब वो व्हेन दैट वाज हैपनिंग, तब मुझे भी ऐसे लगा कि ओके, बॉल गई. आई थॉट कि मारेस का फर्स्ट टच वाज नॉट दैट ग्रेट और ये बॉल अब बाहर चली जाएगी, बट यू आर राइट, हिज कंट्रोल वाज एक्सीलेंट एंड अ गुड असिस्ट फॉर De Bruyne. So overall, I think Mahrez also played pretty well. There were some questions कि यार Mahrez को क्यों select किया? Why have you left Sterling out? But I think Mahrez kind of justified his inclusion in the team. And overall, even he put in a pretty good display.
Yeah, and that, but my that is everything is fine. And Phil Foden is, excellent as always nowadays. The Phil Foden is really emerging as a proper, talent. He's always had a talent, but now he's maturing as a player. That also was great to see. But the biggest, kind of question mark is that Man City were not convincing in this win. Even till the 90th minute, the game was a draw only. So that's a big question mark. That how come after really ripping apart the Premier League this season, why are not they able to still convincingly beat Dortmund? Considering Dortmund अभी पांचवें नंबर में बुंदेसलीगा में फिफ्थ नंबर कोई बहुत बड़ी अचीवमेंट ये फॉर्म नहीं है. उसके बावजूद वो लोग ऐसे हरा नहीं पा रहे हैं. दे गेव अवे अवे गोल. अगर आप और स्टिल अब बैकडोर एंट्री बच गई है डॉटमुंड के लिए, so they can go back to home, dig out a 1-0 win, and then pass through. So this is a big talking point for Guardiola. That how the hell his teams are not able to finish off games in Champions League.
Actually, with regard to your first point about Foden, I want to disagree a bit because he played really well as usual, but his finishing was not really good. I thought he had a few good chances, or he didn't really use them very well. But I think he did score when it mattered. So yeah, that is true. But overall, I still think Foden could have done better. He is one of those players who is just so talented that you expect a lot more from him. So I think Foden could have done a bit better. And speaking to your second point, again, I completely agree. Manchester City should have done well. Yeah, especially because ये Dortmund की full strength team नहीं थी. Everyone from the goalkeeper to even a few defenders. I mean, it was not a full strength 11. I think one player whose name I heard for the first time was starting yesterday in the Champions League against Man City. So it was not a full strength Dortmund team, and City still kind of struggled a bit. I think actually Dortmund did really well in holding off Joao Cancelo, who has been one of Manchester City's biggest threats, not just in defense, but I mean, going forward, he has been a very big threat. And Dortmund did quite well to pin him down. And because of that, Kyle Walker had to make more forward runs. But overall, the balance of City's team got damaged a bit.
Yeah, that is there. And coming to your Foden point, I agree that he missed a great chance. I am missing the timestamp of that, but he was literally one-on-one for the open goal, and he shot it straight at the keeper. So I agree the fact that finishing is still not there, but that happens with young players because there is a lack of composure. That why there is a lot of hype around Haaland, because for such a young player, his composure is off the roof. But other than that finishing part, the overall build-up play was quite, great from Foden.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he is an exceptional player, and I think that's why we are even having this conversation about being a bit disappointed because we expect so much from him, and sometimes maybe we forget that he's still a very young player. But yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, it was a good performance from him, and I'm sure the finishing will also come eventually. But speaking of finishing and some controversial calls, we'll talk about the Jude Bellingham incident. Again, a fantastic young player, and actually, I think it, his goal should have stood. I mean, I watched the replay after the incident actually happened, and it was quite clear that he got the ball, and the goal definitely should have stood. And that's actually a lot of what I'm seeing on social media as well. What do you think? Do you think the goal should have stood?
I think it was definite goal, but the biggest problem that incident was that I think the referee made a mistake by whistling the bell before the goal was actually went in.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
whistled.
if it had gone, if the goal had gone in, and after that, if he had whistled for a foul, then VAR could have looked at it. But since,
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is one of those errors which is very frustrating because you feel that these are the kind of errors which VAR should be overturning, but because of certain specifications, certain issues, VAR is not able to overturn them. So I get why people are frustrated with VAR, especially when these kind of things happen. But Jude Bellingham, again, a fantastic performance from him, even for the
I
Dortmund goal.
personally
Even for the Dortmund goal, uh, it was Bellingham who played really well.
think is no.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I personally think that it was less of a VR thing, more of a referee mistake, because he clearly whistled before the goal was went in. So what can VR actually do? I
No,
think this is more about rules and the what referee did more than a
I'm
VR thing.
no, I agree with you. It was not that, but the point that I'm trying to make is that the people would expect this kind of thing to be overdone by VAR, and see because of
Yeah,
these rules that if the ball did not cross the goal line, then VAR cannot overturn it. These are because of that. I mean, these kind of things can be frustrating. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, so talking about the Dortmund goal, Bellingham did really well in the build-up, and we spoke about Haaland's assist. It was such a brilliant assist. It was a very good reverse ball, and this is another, I think, underrated aspect of Haaland's game. We all talk about how good he is at finishing and how fast he is, how strong he is, but he's also good at building up the play. He's good at distributing the ball and being a focal point of the attack. What do you think?
Yeah, because that also because that he is always upfront. So we rarely see the other aspect. Same problem with Ronaldo also. That that player is so focused on his goal scoring output, and he's always playing up top that we rarely get to see the other aspects of the game. This match kind of showed that if you can keep Haaland from scoring, he will find another ways to impact the match. And that's a great quality in a player that you should own.
Yep. And so I think overall it was a good match. If we talk about that final goal, again, there was some controversy. I mean, I know some people thought that maybe it was a bit offside, but I think again it was a good goal, great pass from De Bruyne. Again, a great, control from Gundogan, and then another fantastic finish from Phil Foden. You're talking about how his finishing might not be the best, but I think this finish was pretty good.
Yeah, and see, on paper, this was supposed to be a straightforward match, and scoreline, you think this is straightforward, but the game was not a straightforward thing. That's my point. Is see, 19 minute के अंदर goal मारा वो सब ठीक है, everything is perfectly fine, they win it 2-1 and all, everything is good, but why they were not able to finish it off beforehand? Why they were missing so many, considering the Dortmund defense is anyway not very good, and considering कि कल तो literally बच्चे लोग खेल रहे थे यार, and Man City pretty much full strength पे खेल रही थी, उसके बाद जो finishing नहीं कर पा रहे थे, I think that's pretty much a very big concern for Guardiola, that he might again overthinking the second leg. What do you think?
It is a possibility. We've seen that happen from Guardiola time and time again. Even last year Champions League, we saw this. और हम बात भी कर रहे थे कि how because of his overthinking, maybe it's costing them the game. And let's hope that this does not happen this time. I think Man City have a very good chance of going through and actually winning the Champions League this time. They've been very good in the Premier League, and if their squad is at full strength, if everybody is fit, then I think this is a real chance for them. So let's see what happens. I think Manchester City can still go through. And while Dortmund played really well in this match, I still think, again, this is Manchester City's game to lose.
I beg to differ. I personally think the game is pretty much in the balance right now.
So the reason I think this is Manchester City's advantage is not only because they have the goal, the extra goal, but also because I don't think the away goal is going to be too much of a hindrance for City. It's very difficult for me to imagine Manchester City going away and failing to score, especially because of the empty stadium. There's not really that much of a home advantage for Dortmund. And I think City's attack is such that if they're able to score without a proper center forward, I think it's going to be easy for them to at least get back that away goal advantage. And based on form, based on a lot of things, I think this can really be City's game to lose.
Yeah, I agree on that. That on at least on talking points, City should obviously go through easily. But it's I can't really explain. It's more kind of gut feeling that I think it might not be that straightforward in the next match.
Let's see. I mean, I'm hoping for a good, entertaining match, but let's see after next game what happens.
So yeah, that's it. That's for today's episode. Keep watching us. Please subscribe and share.
Thank you.